The new breach is absolutely brilliant and brought one of the best mechanics Path of Exile ever had. And that would be our friend the Genesis tree, which helps you to grow currencies, equipment, down here, bonus crafts, or I could just poop out uniques, left, right, and center. Not that I need this, but I could sell it. Or it could be something crazy amazing. How does the Genesis tree exactly work now, and how do you get the skill points, and what should you choose? First order of business, do the breaches during your campaign playthrough and in mapping, and pretty much do all of them you see, because finishing a breach gives you Graftblood. With that Graftblood, you can then craft the respective items, and you need to feed your Genesis tree Graftblood to get more skill points. On top, if you then do actually finish the breach, there's a chance that you get body parts you have to hand into Aelith at the Keepers of the Flame Monastery. And finishing a brief grants you the respective womb gifts. These are needed to get things from the Genesis tree. Can grow an equipment piece, can grow into a currency item, or can grow into a craft item on the Genesis tree. Then you simply head to the respective craft you want to go for. Here is the item womb. Click on it, and now you'll just consume 100 Graftblood, and it will throw out the womb gift with a new graft, plus then whatever we have chosen here. Boop, and there we go. We get ourselves another Ulgraft and another Ulgraft, which would actually give me the ability, when you use a Warcry, this graft will cause Spires of Bone to erupt from Earth. Useless for me. However, this is the first thing you should do. You should try to get 3, 4, 5 womb gifts for graft items to get yourself a good graft. My favorite one so far has been the one that gives me Glowing Silhouette. While enemies are nearby, this graft will periodically bring lightning-imbued clones of you into being. And these clones jump into the enemy, explode, shock ground. I get more damage multiplier from my poisonous concoction. Perfection. It couldn't actually be better. On the right side, you see 2 quests. Find Hiveborn body parts for Aelith. These you get for finishing the breaches, as I said. And gift Graftblood to the Genesis tree. The more Graftblood I get for doing more breaches, the more skill points I'll get. Because every single quest of those that I jump forward, I'll get 1-2 points here, 1-2 points there. It's random where the points actually will pop out. And these skill points are so important. For equipment, for example, we get birth equipment rolled sockets and links 10 times, keeping the best outcome. Very good. Then I actually went up and said 400% increased chance for birth equipment to be armor. And it has +1 to item level. Why did I want to have armor? Because I don't need weapons. I don't need them to be weapons in any way. But you could also make them be weapons, right? One-handed melee, two-handed melee, or even ranged weapons. So you can force that you get what you're looking for. And what you get out of this is very often 5-link. Yeah, you'd be surprised, but this is from the tree. Randomly. The same goes actually for my helmet, the same goes for my boots, and the same goes for my shield. All of this just flew out from the tree. Very good skill points you want to put is chance for womb gift to give an additional item, then even more to item level, and again, additional item. The same goes here, another item level and additional equipment item, because then you're getting 2, 3, 2, 4 items out of this with many good amounts of links. Especially if you choose birth equipment rolled sockets at least 150 times, keeping the best outcome. Really make sure that you actually get the good stuff. And I would choose all these generic ones before I go too deep into birth equipment has reduced chance for resistance, mana modifiers, life modifiers, whatever, right? I don't need any mana modifiers for my build. So obviously at some point, I'll just have less of those to get better of others. But before I do that, I'll make damn sure that I get all the item levels, all the bonus chance to get an additional item, all the modifier tier ratings, because that's pushing it upwards. Same goes for currency item womb on the side. You want to have the chance for womb gifts to give additional currency, to give additional currency, to then give additional currency, and, well, optionally, you would have 5% chance for birth currency to drop a full stack. I mean, if you then manage to actually get a divine out of this, well, holy hell. For the graft item womb, I instantly went for increased rarity, together with grafts have item level, and birth grafts have a random amount of quality. Could technically have gone for the chance to birth an additional graft. However, I wanted to have the graft I get to actually be vastly outperforming the others. And if you want to try out something, you can just press refund, take some points out of here, and be like, okay, I desperately want to have now a shield. I need a new shield. I'm going to do 5,000 bonus shield together with the 150 times roll-in, and then I'll just go for that respective shield, right? Where I then refund and try to get myself a helmet. It's actually really nifty if you really need a specific something at the very moment to update what you have. Now let's talk about getting Graftblood and getting the most out of it. For this, you obviously have to clear the breaches, as I said before. However, there's another important thing. This one gives me 7% increased spell damage, and skills used by this graph have a 9% increased area of effect. However, I mostly use this for the movement speed and the shock ground for the damage multiplier. That being said, if I now go for my other grafts, here for example the Hungering Yolting Ash graft, it has 8% Graftblood gained. This one has 6% Graftblood gained. The Spiking Wool graft has 70% increased chance to find Ancient Wound Gifts. And Ancient Wound Gifts, Lavish is for currency. You have Lavish again for currency. We have Provisioning for equipment, and Ancient would be for unique items. So if I want to have unique, if I want to farm uniques, if I want to then do breach after breach after breach, actually taking this Wool graft would probably be better than all the others. If you don't rely on the power gain from your graft, if you don't need the damage gain, I think in the beginning, definitely Graftblood gained is what you're looking for, because the more you have, the quicker you upgrade your Genesis tree. I mean, I need 1,500 route for the next level, and obviously the Hiveborn body parts. But yeah, the more I pump in, the faster I can make sure that I get the double, the triple, the full stacks, the everything. And now before you ask, Pony, should I save my stuff? Should I not right away use these? Nah, the womb gifts have levels. Just pump them out as you go. Maybe, and just maybe, hold back on the currency ones. Because you really want to have the 50% additional currency, because no matter what currency you get, how low rarity the currency is more of currency, and we would just want to have as much as possible. I was very lucky in the beginning to get tons Orb to Fusing and Jeweler's Orb, that I could make sure to actually have a 5 link this early in the right colors, and my 4 links, and everything I pretty much need to actually make this build excel. However, if you can wait, I would definitely try to push my level forward with just slamming in as much Graftblood into equipment, and also down here into the actual grafts, and then go for currency later on. For uniques, again, if you have low level unique ancients, just use them away, right? You might get something that you actually need. I was lucky enough to pick up a black heart, which gave me bonus case damage. Hey, why not? It was pretty nifty. I'm actually sitting on a Duressa Salute, and I mostly run around with full life, so why would I not take that 10% movement speed and the double resistance? It's quite good. However, I can't actually use it right now because it's going to ruin my strength and everything goes downhill. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? How do you enjoy the Genesis tree? Don't be shy to really do as many breaches as you want during leveling. It just feels good. It's fun to feed the tree and see it grow, especially when you're actually able to meaningful destroy those early breaches. And for this, we got Poisonous Concoction for you with the full path of building all the nodes from level 1 to 85 through uniques, everything you need, skill points, passive points at every level. And it works so well, even though it get nerfed, but it get a bonus multiplier on top that scales with how good your potions are. And I can tell you, it's not feeling any slower. If it does actually feel faster because the grafts are helping so much to increase your clear speed. Check out the video and take care.